Hello everyone, here's Tiago from Podsqueeze, and today I want to show to you how you can use Podsqueeze together with our newest Zapier integration to automate your workflow. We are going to start with very simple, something very simple, but something that I know people have requested and can be useful, which is we'll have a Google Drive folder, and every time there's a new upload of an episode to that folder, it will automatically trigger episode generation within Podsqueeze. So how do we do this? First of all, you go to Zapier. You can either use the free tier or the paid tier, either work. And then you'll go to create, zap. Here we go. And now we'll have the trigger. We know the trigger is whenever we actually upload a new episode into a folder. So we'll go and select Google Drive. And I'm using Google Drive, but you can test with other integrations, either Dropbox or whatever kind of drive you use, as long as it is supported by Zapier. Here we go. And now you will define the event. In this case, we'll select the new file in folder. And I have already connected with my drive. If you haven't, you can just do it very simple and continue. Now we select the drive. I'm going to select my Google Drive. If you have a shared drive, you can also use it. And now the folder, and I created a folder called Podcast, which will be the one I will be using. And then continue. And now you can or not test the trigger. Here it will try to test it, but it will say there's no file found because I didn't upload any new file. Skip test, and that's it. Now we'll go to the action. So we uploaded a new file. We want now to trigger within Podsqueeze. So you can search for Podsqueeze. At the moment, we are still in beta. So if you cannot see it, you'll have to request to use this app, but I will give you the instructions either in the newsletter or below if you're watching this on YouTube on how you can access this app. And now you have the app, and we will have to connect to Podsqueeze. I'll show you how you can do it. So we'll go and sign in. And now it will ask you for your API token. How can you fetch the API token? You go to your Podsqueeze dashboard. And then here on the left side, you'll find API access. It's free for any account, API access. And now we generated a token for you, and you can just copy the token. And now we'll go back here, paste the token, and then yes, continue with Podsqueeze. And now we'll wait a little bit, and voila, it's done. It's integrated with Podsqueeze. It's connected with your Podsqueeze account. Now we select the action. So we have two actions available at the moment. The first one is the one we're going to use, convert podcast episode. And then we have this one to get episode assets. So episodes that were already converted through Podsqueeze, you can get all the assets here. But let's select the convert podcast episode. Continue. And now here you have a lot of things you can actually fill in, but only two are actually like relevant or mandatory rather. The other ones are optional. So here is the podcast ID. So here you can either write the podcast ID yourself, or you can map. So you can map from the folder. So you can use title, you can use the folder, the folder title or something like that. But here I will just write down tests podcast, for instance. And we'll go with the episode URL. Here you're going to select file. Okay. So what this does is that Zapier will download the file for you from Google Drive, and then it will generate a public URL that will send to Podsqueeze. That's the way to do it, so that we can access the file through Podsqueeze without authentication needed. Now here, you don't need to put the episode title, but if you want, again, you can extract the title from the folder or the name of the file. Here you can define the language. This is actually as well mandatory, and in this case is English. If it would be another language, PT, for instance, it would be for Portuguese. English. You can define an image for the URL, a podcast title, a description, and an image as well for the podcast. But this is enough. So we'll go with continue, and we'll skip test and publish. And that's it. That's it. Now you have your integration set up. Every time I add a new episode to that folder, it will automatically start converting that episode in Podsqueeze. And once it's ready, you'll get an email saying that it's ready. But let's test it. Now, I have my folder. I go here on podcast, and I will now just upload here a random episodes that I have here. Okay, I'm uploading now an episode. It will take a little bit. Done. And now it will actually check every 2 minutes, but in this case, so that we don't have to wait, I'll just manually run the Zap. Zap run successful. So now it's saying that it found one new file, and it has triggered the episode for you. Okay, so now let's go to our dashboard, and we should be already able to find our test podcast, as you can see. So it worked. Episode from Zapier. Let's open. And now it's already converting these episodes automatically just for you. Very simple to do it. So now let's try to run the Zap again. As you know, I didn't upload any new episodes, and it will say that there's no new episode. See, we couldn't find any new files. That's it. As simple as that. Now you can integrate it with your workflow. Let's say you work with it within a team, and someone, your editor, has finished the final touches in the episode, uploads to the folder, and Podsqueeze starts running automatically, and it will send an email once it's done. You can also integrate this with other things, right? So if you go here on Edit Zap, I didn't try that yet, but there's other triggers that you can use. You can use, for instance, Trello, right? Like when there's a task that changes or whatever flow you use, most likely there'll be an integration within Zapier, and then you can just use that for Podsqueeze. If you have any questions, just drop me a message, and happy podcast.